In 1925, one of the most famous structures on Earth was about to be destroyed, and someone was about to make millions from it. Not in a war, not in an accident, but through a lie so believable that even experienced businessmen fell for it. And the craziest part? This scam didn't work because people were stupid. It worked because they thought they were smart. Let me explain. Paris in the 1920s was calm. Tourists walked the streets, cafes were full, and the Eiffel Tower stood exactly where it always had. But here's something most people don't know. The Eiffel Tower was never meant to be permanent. It was built for the 1889 World's Fair, and after 20 years, it was supposed to be taken down. By 1925, the tower was old. Rust was spreading, repairs were expensive, and a lot of Parisians hated it. Some even called it an eyesore. So the idea of dismantling it, not crazy, not impossible, and definitely not suspicious. And that's where the problem started. Now enter one man. Not an engineer, not a politician, not a government official. He was something far more dangerous, a professional liar. His name was Victor Lustig, and Victor had a special talent. He didn't scam people by rushing them. He didn't scare them. He didn't threaten them. He made them feel chosen. Victor read about the Eiffel Tower's problems in the newspaper. Most people read that and move on. Victor read it and thought, this is a weakness. So he did something insane. He forged official government documents, perfect stamps, perfect signatures. Everything looked real. Then he invented a role for himself, Deputy General Director of the Ministry of Posts and Telegraphs. That title is important. It sounds boring enough to be real, powerful enough to not question, vague enough to avoid verification. Perfect. Then he invited 6 of the largest scrap metal dealers in Paris to a luxury hotel, not a government office, not a public place, a hotel. And the invitation said only one thing clearly: this meeting is strictly confidential. That single sentence did all the work, because when something is confidential, people stop asking questions. The men arrived, sat around the table, and Victor began. He spoke calmly. Gentlemen, the French government has decided the Eiffel Tower is too expensive to maintain. It will be dismantled and sold for scrap. No panic, no drama, just policy. And here's the genius part of the scam. He didn't rush them. He didn't pressure them. He let greed do the work. Because scrap metal from the Eiffel Tower, that would be worth a fortune, and no one wanted to miss out. Among the 6 dealers was one man who stood out. New to Paris, not very well connected, desperate to prove himself. His name was André Poisson. Poisson didn't just want profit. He wanted legitimacy, status, respect. And Victor knew that. So Victor did what all great scammers do. He isolated the weakest link. He pulled Poisson aside privately and whispered, I shouldn't be doing this, but I need compensation for the risk I'm taking, a bribe. And instead of walking away, Poisson felt relieved. Why? Because real corruption asks for bribes. So he paid, not just the bribe, but the full price of the Eiffel Tower. Millions. Contracts were signed, hands were shaken, smiles were exchanged, and then Victor Lustig disappeared. Poisson waited. Nothing happened. Days passed, then weeks. No instructions, no calls, no dismantling, and slowly, the truth hit him. He had been scammed. But here's the most important part of the story. Poisson did not go to the police. Why? Because he was ashamed. He was embarrassed. He didn't want Paris to know he paid millions for a tower that was never for sale. And that silence was Victor Lustig's biggest win. Because no police report meant no investigation. And no investigation meant Victor could do it again. Yes, he came back. And he sold the Eiffel Tower a second time. This time, the victim reported it, but Victor was already gone. Like smoke, Victor Lustig went on to become one of the greatest con artists in history. He later sold people a fake money printing machine and even managed to scam Al Capone himself. Eventually, he was caught and sent to Alcatraz. The Eiffel Tower still stands today. Never sold, never scrapped. But its greatest story isn't about engineering. It's about psychology, the real lesson. This scam didn't work because of fake documents. It worked because of human behavior. Here are the 3 reasons it worked. 1. Authority. Victor looked official. People obey authority without thinking. 2. Scarcity. A once-in-a-lifetime deal. No one wanted to miss out. 3. Shame. Victims stayed silent. and silence protect scammers. This is how most financial scams work, not with complexity, but with confidence. And that's why smart people fall for scams more than anyone else, because they trust their intelligence too much. History is full of stories like this: greed, ego, silence. If you want more stories of financial mistakes, scams, schemes, and crimes explained simply with stickman animations, welcome to FinStick.